Today, I'm going to show you my Shadowbox trees. These are items I sell year-round at my craft fairs and are great decor items that customers can keep up all year long. So let's head to the shop so I can show you how I make them. First, I took multiple species of wood, different slabs, and cut them into these sheets that are 1/2 inch thick. Now I need to take them to the table saw and cut them into 2-inch strips. After a little help from Mr. Miyagi, now we have the strips, and it's time to take them over to the miter saw. The shadow boxes themselves are made up of a bunch of little 2-inch squares, and so what I've done is I created a jig at 35 inches for the right edge, that profile that I want, and I go through and I use the miter saw to cut up these little 2-inch squares over and over. And I mean over and over. I probably made a couple hundred of these shadow boxes, so it's a lot of squares to cut up. This was part of my holiday production run, so my wife Victoria was in the shop giving me a hand too. As you can see, I'm sanding off any of the burrs that were created by cutting them up, and then the third step is what Victoria is doing. She's scribing each one of the squares to add a mark so that when I go to glue up the squares, it's easy to see where they fit together. To create the trees, I'm going to go ahead and do the two sides first. So I add a little bit of wood glue, and then I add 2 dabs of CA glue, spray some accelerator on the opposite piece, and hold them down until the super glue dries. I'll do this on all of the pieces and on the top as well, so that way I can put the tree together without having to add a whole bunch of clamps. Every tree gets 4 squares on each side, and then once I'm all ready, I'll need to take them back over to the table saw to get them ready for their bases. Using my 3D printer, I went ahead and created a template to slide my trees on, and now I'm using it with my table saw sled to run it through the table saw and cut off the excess and flatten the bottom of each one of the trees. Next, it's time to head back to the miter saw and cut the bases for each of the trees. I'll set up a stop block to do this, which will make quick work of it. The gluing process with the bases is exactly the same. I'll use a little bit of wood glue, a couple of drops of CA glue, some accelerant, and then I'll hold down the tree onto the base until the CA glue dries and letting it clamp until the wood glue dries. Repeating the process for each tree. One final trip over to the table saw to cut off the excess of the base on both sides. Welcome to the CNC portion of this video. So what we're doing is we're going to go ahead and use VCarve Pro here to cut out these little profile pieces that are going to go inside the shadow boxes. So in this case, I have Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus because we're making a nativity. And what I want to do is I want to teach you how to use the nesting tool. So since I'm doing this in production mode, I'm making a bunch of these at once. The nesting tool is really great because it allows me to create all of these pieces on the material that I have without having just to do copy paste, and try and figure it in and move it around. I'll let the software do it for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select my 3 parts here, and I'm going to come over and select the nesting tool. Now, the nesting tool has you enter the tool diameter. So in this case, I'm going to use the 1/8 inch bit from Cadence Manufacturing. So the Downtown Jenny 1/8 inch bit, the Slim Jen. I'm going to go ahead and add a clearance. My clearance, I'm going to do 1/10 of an inch. And then the gap, so how much gap do I want around each of them? I'm going to leave at 1/4 of an inch. Now the rotation is good, so this allows you to rotate the piece on the workpiece to get as many as you can fit it in there. If you don't rotate it, it'll just stay in the orientation that you have here, like I have there. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate it. I'm also going to do mirror to find best fit because I want to get as many as I want. And I'm not going to allow other parts inside of other parts. So now the number of copies. So let's do, I'm going to do 10 copies because I'm going to make 10 of these. If I hit apply, you'll see there's a 10 on each one of these pieces, and I hit preview. So what this did is it now edited them all in, and so I've got 10 sets of all the pieces here that are ready to be cut out. As you can see, I have a lot more material here on this, so I could do a lot more. So I can come back over here, and then I'm going to do reset preview. And in this case, I'm going to do 20. I'm going to hit apply, and voila, now I've got 20 on this board. One thing you'll see is if I go over, so let's say I do 30, what it's going to do is it's going to go, oh, hey, you must have more sheets and more pieces, and it'll do that into other sheets. So I'm going to remove that because I only have the 1 sheet, and that's how I'm setting up my CNC. So I'm just going to do my 20 of them. I'll hit preview, and you can see there's all the pieces right there. And then I click OK. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight everything I'm going to create my profile path, which I already did. So I'll double click on the profile, highlight everything. This is my slim gen. Cut depth is that 1/2 inch for my piece. I'm going to cut out on the outside of each piece, and I'm going to go ahead and calculate. I am adding tabs for all of these. And voila, there's my little pieces. Now, you'll want to go through and make sure you take care of these little pieces that are not connected to anything. Add a tab where you need. So actually, you see there are no tabs in this. So I said I added tabs, but I didn't actually come in through and add the tabs. So, hey, look, there's all my tabs. Now, if I calculate, reset, preview, there we go. Now I can see all these little tabs, which should take care of any of these wild little pieces, but you'll still want to go through and double check so that way they don't come loose and hurt your CNC or break your bit. So let's go ahead and export this out and head out to the CNC. This video is sponsored by Cadence Manufacturing, the maker of the Jenny CNC bits. The Jenny bits are without a doubt the best bits on the market you can buy today. I highly recommend them. They're the only bits that I use with my CNC. I've done side by side with other bits that you can get from Amazon or other manufacturers, and I haven't found a bit that holds up as well as these. You can find these bits online at cadencemfgdesign.com. I have a link in the description below along with a discount code to get you a little bit off at checkout. The bits proudly made in the United States are all made by Cody. He is the founder, creator, and maker of all of these bits out of his shop in Arizona. The first time I ordered from Cody, I ordered some 1/8 inch bits, and I immediately snapped the first one on the very first cut I did. So as a newbie, I immediately contacted him and went, hey, there must be something wrong with this bit. There was nothing wrong with the bit. It was my setup and my fault. But what was amazing was Cody actually called me himself and he said, hey, let's talk through with your setup. Let's see what's going on. And then he also sent me out a bit as a replacement. It was incredible. Every order he does, he includes handwritten notes, and it's just an amazing person. I'm so thankful I've got to meet Cody and get to know him and call him a friend at this point. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to the build. We're going to go ahead and put a double-sided tape on the back of our piece here and then clamp it down. The double-sided tape will help the small pieces just give them some extra strength and not move around once they're cut out. We'll start the CNC, and the 1/8 inch Slim Gen will go ahead and do its job and cut everything out.
Put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking out the door.
Once the CNC is finished, we'll go ahead and pop out all the pieces and bring it over to sanding so we can give everything a once-over, which means it's time for this week's Sanding Thoughts with Duffy Woodcraft. St. Francis is credited in creating the very first nativity scene, dating back to 1223 AD in the Italian village of Grieco. St. Francis was inspired after visiting the Holy Land, so he went to the Pope and asked for permission to create a nativity scene. He then brought a manger into a cave, brought some hay, and led a donkey and an ox into it. He then performed midnight mass in front of the nativity scene. It was so popular that he continued to do it throughout the years, and the impact grew throughout Europe and across the world in the next few centuries. Once everything is sanded, I will go ahead and do some CA glue and some accelerator to hold down these little pieces inside the shadow box. Make sure you do this before applying any finish, otherwise the CA glue will not adhere properly. Speaking of finish, I finished these with a 100% tung oil that I thin out with some mineral spirits. So what I'm doing is I'm putting them all in a bucket. Just a lot of finish in a bucket. And I know that it might seem wasteful and messy, but it really is the best way to do this, I found over the years. So what I do is I go ahead and dunk each one of these. I let it drip off over the bucket, and then I put them on a baking rack over a cookie sheet. I let them dry or drip dry for another 30 seconds or so, and then I go ahead and wipe out any excess. I really do recommend putting them over a cookie sheet to drip dry, so that way you can catch any of that excess finish and pour it back into the bucket periodically through the process. I then let them dry for a good 24 hours. And once dry, I'll bring them inside and then wipe them all down with a homemade paste wax that I make. I'll let them again just sit for another 12 hours or so everything hardens up, and then they are finished. Since you can put anything inside these shadow boxes that you want to design, it's really a great gift to create and give all year round. This is my 18th project video since I started this channel back in May. Thank you, each and every one of you who have been along on this journey, and I appreciate all of you who like, share, and comment on these videos. I'll be back in January with more project videos every 2 weeks, but until then, I'm off to go do my other job for the holiday season, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye! Merry Christmas, and to all, a good night.